Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to a new second secondary lesson for today for your book, The Traveler 3. And today we have writing. So as you can see, what we'll learn today, we have three main objectives. Number one, identify the content and stylistic features of a letter of application. Number two, familiarize students with formal expressions used in a letter of application. And three, practice in writing formal letters of application. Sorry, for number one, we're going to see the content and the style we use to write a letter of application. It means when we apply for a job, there's a style we use to apply for a job when we write a letter. For number two, we're going to get acquainted and be familiarized with the formal language and the formal words that we use and the formal expressions that we use when we write a letter of application. And finally, we're going to write a formal letter of application. So if we continue, let's say you have seen this note here. Dear Mr. Bergen, I'm writing to you to express my interest in the office manager position currently available at ACME Investment Incorporation. So the question is, have you ever had a job before? If yes, how did you get it? I mean, most of you as, second sector students, you may not have had a job before, but I will help you out answer this. Yes, I have a job before. I worked as a teacher, and I got it through the, an advertisement in a newspaper. So I was looking for a job. So I've seen an advertisement in a newspaper, and I was actually buying all the newspaper because I need to get a job. And I found the best one, and I used the highlighter, and I started to call and take notes. And then I got a job interview in some of the, the companies, and I went there and I prepared myself very well, and then I got the job and I was hired as a teacher. And the second question, how do people apply for the jobs they see advertised in a newspaper? I just told you, when you want to find a job, now people use, newspapers, magazines, websites, and other services that can help them, or agencies that can help them find a good job. And actually after this, they put all these newspapers and they buy them, and then they use, highlights, take notes, try to call. And before all of this, you need to have prepared your curriculum vitae, or what we call resume, or your CV, and practice before you go to a job interview. So let's see this advertisement. You opened a newspaper and you found this: part-time waiter required for a restaurant. So you want to work as a waiter in a restaurant, and you found this and you like to do that. And you read in the newspaper, what do they offer you? What do they give you? So they give you pleasant working conditions. So you will work in a happy place. And a competitive salary means they give you some good salary, some good money. They give you a uniform, a dress, and they offer you training. So they train you and they help you. Most of the time you see this in fast food, restaurants. But here are some conditions, okay, for applicants who wants to apply for the job. They need to have experience working in a restaurant. So you may have a previous experience as you worked in some famous restaurant before, or have a knowledge of either French, Spanish, or German. So you need to talk 2 or more 3 foreign languages. Be available from June till the end of August. So mainly it's just like 3 months. Remember, this is a part-time job. It's not a full job. And also applicants should have a friendly personality. When you are a waiter and you offer food to your customers, you need to have a smiley face, some nice, voice tune, some good facial expressions, and you need to be friendly. So if you had this advertisement and you want to apply for the job, okay, you need to write a letter first. So when you apply in writing to the manager, let's say, for example, it's the Plum Restaurant and it's on 4 Parkway Street, Torquay, TQ3 5RQ. These are just, numbers and names of streets, okay? And you want to apply for the job, so you have to write a letter. And this letter must be formal, must look nice. You must use good language. You need strong expressions and you need formal language. If you want to write, there is a style for your writing, okay? And there is a form for a letter of application. So you're applying for a job, and the letter of application should or must include 5 main items. First, the greeting, opening paragraph, main part, which includes 2 or 3 paragraphs, the closing paragraph, and you sign off. Okay? So let's start with the first one. Directly use a formal greeting, not first names. You can say, dear sir, dear madam, or dear Mr., dear Miss, dear Mrs., or Miss, and the surname or the family name. Dear Anizi, or dear Gahtani, or dear whatever. Don't say the first name, just say the family name, if you know the name. Opening paragraph, so you start your paragraph. You can use some words or phrases like that state the position you're applying for. You're applying for a waiter, you're applying for a cashier, you're applying for customer service. Okay, so you say what you want. And say where and when you saw the job advertised. This is very, people who really write their jobs really always look and ask you, if you didn't write, how did you get the advertisement? Because they want to know which was the best way for that reach people. So are they gonna use newspapers, TV, or radio, or magazines? So they are interested so much in knowing and getting the feedback. How did you know about the job? Then you start with the main paragraph, or the main part, or the body of the application, the letter of application, and you can write 2 or 3 paragraphs. You can say your age, describe your qualifications and experience, state your present and previous job if you had, list any interests or hobbies you have that are relevant to the job advertised, and explain why you think you are suitable for the job advertised. Then you close the paragraph, and when you close the paragraph, you use a set of phrases to what? To say if you have enclosed a CV or a reference, if you put, or to say whether you have enclosed a CV or a copy of a CV or a copy of a reference. And a reference, we mean, to whom it may concern, something your previous, boss in your previous job wrote for you a reference. And most of the time, make sure that your reference is a good one. And then say that you hope your application will be taken into consideration. And finally, when you sign off, you use formal signature ending with yours faithfully. You say yours faithfully when you don't know the name of the person you are writing to. And you say, or you write, yours sincerely when you know the name of the person you're writing to. And then sign underneath or below and print your full name below your signature. We'll see an example very soon. So a letter of application. Remember, when you are writing a letter of application, there are, maybe 5 important tips or advice. Begin and end your letter with appropriate expressions. Try to use some nice, phrases, nice words, nice vocabulary. Use formal language and write in a confident manner. Show that you are, have some, self confidence in yourself, and don't use, friends language or email language. Use formal language, and do not use short forms or abbreviations like CMC or or can't or don't or doesn't. Try to use a formal language. Identify the qualities required for the job. Think about the job. Think about the qualities. What do they want? as stated in the advertisement and explain why you consider yourself suitable for the job. Try to convince the reader of your letter why you're so enthusiastic about the job. And do not state drawbacks. Do not talk about any previous failing, experience, or even do not go off point. So here is a sample of a letter of application. Here is the address or your address, and here is the manager's address, okay? And you started with formal greeting, dear sir, dear madam. I'm writing to apply for the position of waiter as advertised in the evening news on the 20th of April. I'm an 18-year-old student in my final year of school. I believe I'm suitable for this position because I have previous experience of working in a busy restaurant. Last summer, I worked at Vincent's Italian restaurant, and before that, I worked as a cashier at a fast food restaurant. In addition, I'm fluent in French and I have a good knowledge of German. I consider myself to be a reliable person. I am always punctual and I realize the importance of being friendly and polite to customers. As I finish school in May and I will not start university until the beginning of October, I am available for the month you require. I have enclosed a copy of my curriculum vitae for your review. This is a short of CV. I hope my application will be taken into consideration. I look forward to hearing from you. Yours faithfully, David Ainsley. Now, this is David. He wrote a very nice, organized letter full of, nice expressions and convincing language. Okay? Now, you see these words in red. We'll talk about them soon. Dear sir, dear madam, I consider myself to be reliable. Enclosed, yours faithfully. So if you go back to this letter, okay, read the letter again. I just read this for you, and find the formal words or expressions that correspond to the more informal meanings given below. For example, the word job. Try not to write job. You can use another good word. We used it in the previous application or letter of application. This is more beautiful, formal, nice, convincing, okay? Or you may not use the right person. You can say, I'm suitable, okay? And you may not say, I think I am. You can choose another way. On time, you can say maybe punctual. Punctual means on time. Free, you can use another word. I have included, you can say I have enclosed. I have attached. Some very good words. Try to look different. For you to examine, for you to review, for you to have a look at, and finally, will be thought about, will be considered, or will be taken into serious consideration, and so on. So here are the words that we chose in the writing, which are better than these. So, job, you can say, I apply for the new job. No, apply for the position. The right person, the suitable person. I think I am. I consider myself. On time, punctual. Free, I'm available. I have included. I have enclosed. I have attached. Free for you to examine, for you to review, and will be thought about, will be taken into consideration. See, the words in red are nicer. They're more beautiful. They're, convincing. They're formal expressions. To the left, they are a little bit regular, sometimes boring. Okay, so let's start to write. The only way to do well and be good at writing is to write and write and write and learn from your mistakes. So you have seen the following advertisement. You open a website, you open a book, the TV, and you've seen this advertisement and have decided to apply for the job. Oh, this is the job I want. Write your letter of application which is maybe minimum from, a minimum of 100 to 150 words. Part-time hairdresser required. So you're going to work in a maybe salon or a barber shop. Applicants must have previous experience. This is always. Minimum age is 18. Good customer service skills, it is essential. And enthusiastic and friendly manner. If you meet these requirements, then please apply in writing. It means you have to write to the manager. Good Hairy Day, that's the name of the salon, Oxford Road, and it's in London. Okay? And it's in London. Will you try now to imagine that this is what you want in an advertisement? You want to be a hairdresser? You meet these kind of, the applicant's requirements, and you want to write, and here's the address, the manager Good Hair Day Salon, that's the name, Oxford Road in London. Okay? Try to practice this at home, and here is what we did today. So what we have learned today, you remember, it was all about writing. When you are writing a letter of application, begin and end your letter with appropriate expressions, nice words. Use formal language and write in a confident manner. Do not use short forms or abbreviations. Identify the qualities required for the job as stated in the advertisement and explain why you consider yourself the best one or the suitable guy for the job, and do not state drawbacks. And there are 5 main items for or benchmarks for you to remember. Start with the greeting, the opening paragraph, the body or the main paragraph or the main part for 2 or 3 paragraphs. Then you close the paragraph and sign off. These are some references and resources for you to follow. Also, that is the end. For more information and lessons, try to visit our website ain.edu.com, and also you can follow us on Twitter for more information, and for any technical support, please call us on this number. Thank you for watching this. I hope you have a good day, and assalamu alaikum.